Hey YouTube, St. Frank here today. This is a Friday follow-up from Hobby Talk Tuesday. Earlier this week, I thought there was some really good comments. Got a lot of good feedback on that episode. We were talking about thoughts and predictions on the PSA July 1st reopening. And of course, we found out yesterday that PSA was only opening up one new service. So they still have the Super Express that costs $300 a card to send in to get graded. And now their big, huge reopening was, we'll open it up the Express level also for $200 a card. So really, I was very disappointed with that. And to me, that was kind of a big bummer and a downer to me because it seems like it's going to be a long time before I'm going to be able to send any cards into PSA. Um, but I can't complain too much because I have a ton of cards there that I was able to send in for really cheap. It's like all these cards back there that you see in the background, they all cost me between $7.50 and like I think maybe $10. Like some of these ultra modern cards might have cost me $10 to get graded. So I can't complain with what I was able to send in. But I was hoping to send some more stuff in, but all that's going to get put on some serious hold because man, I just don't know about PSA right now. They seem there's I can definitely see why people are sending Pokemon stuff to like CGC. I can definitely see why people are doing that because I just don't know how long it's going to take to be able to afford to send a card to PSA. But enough of me rambling. Let's go ahead and get started with this episode. And we turn to our buddy, Mr. Robart, who always kicks it off. Mr. Robart?
Friday follow-up from Hobby Talk Tuesday episode 23 Thoughts and Predictions as the PSA July 1st reopening looms.
Okay, and this is where I'm very thankful to you viewers because you guys make comments, and that's what makes Friday follow-ups possible is your comments. So what was the first comment we got?
Mint Princess writes, nice thoughts, thanks for sharing them. Will be interesting to see how everything shakes out on the grading side. Red Heart.
Yeah, thank you for watching and thank you for commenting, Diamond Princess. Um, yeah, that was interesting. I was definitely expecting them to open up at least everything but the value bulk submissions. I wasn't expecting them to open that up yet. I think I think that will come once they get the backlog completely wiped out, but or get it managed much better than they do now. But I was expecting that they would have more than just Express and Super Express. And I mean they've had 3 months now to get things under control, and I'm really surprised they didn't open up like the regular submissions, and I think there's another level also in there. But yeah, it's only for the super expensive cards, and that's just not stuff that I will send in. All right, thank you for the comment, and I agree. It's going to be interesting to see what goes on, and everything the PSA does is going to send huge ripples through the card collecting universe right now. All right, next comment.
Mark Griffiths writes, no bulk, no 30 copies of the same card. One card per household.
Okay, those are good thoughts, Mark. So, I do think you are bringing up a good point. Um, I personally, I really need them to open up bulk again, but I know that's not going to happen for a long time. Um, but yeah, I think they do get beaten down by people sending in like you say, like 30 copies of the same card. As a grader, that would drive me nuts to have to look at the same card over and over and over and over again. And I think that plays into the psychology of graders. I think um, if you send a bunch of the same card in, I think they're going to naturally um, separate them, even though they might all be like a minty, similar quality. I almost guarantee you they're going to give half of them nines and half of them tens, as long as they're all mint. And you see that all the time with other people that send in a bunch of the same card. Is it usually breaks down to they'll give about half of them PSA nines and half of them PSA tens. So I've always believed in only sending one card at a time. Like not, I have sent in two of the same card a time or two, and they've never given me all tens on those cards. Um, yeah, so I try to keep as a policy to never send the same card in on the same order. And you also brought up one card per household. Um, I don't know how that would work because most people are not going to even bother with just sending one card. But I do think that they could get things reopened and make it affordable for people if they limit them. And I know some people would hate to hear that they're being limited on their orders, but I mean, if you, it's that choice of limiting your orders to maybe 100 cards a month or something like that. That can keep their numbers of cards coming in under control and be able to provide a fair price for people to get their cards graded. Um, because they're going to have to do something. Because if they open it up fully, they are going to get slammed instantly. Because people like, I'll just use me for example. I've been buying stuff that I want to send in to get graded, but it's just piling up here. And then once they open up for a price that I'm happy with, I'm going to be sending them a lot of cards. So I'm very similar to a lot of collectors out there. They're going to wait for the cheaper submissions. I am in no hurry to get the cards back. So I think if they did a limit of even like 50 cards a month, whatever they decide, I think that might be the best way to go for them right now, and probably the most fair because you're still able to pick out. You're naturally going to pick out better cards to send in. That'll cut down on all the junky cards that people send in. Now if a junky card is what I'm calling junky is something that's dear to you, by all means, I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't grade it. I'm just saying, you look at some of the pop reports, people are sending a lot of just base cards and like lower end cards like this Tatis. Um, it's a rookie card, yes, but it is a pretty low end card, one of his cheaper rookies. But I bet you they get tons of stuff like that, which if they limit people to 50 cards a month or something like that, you're less likely to send in that type of card. But good points. All right, next one.
I wanted all 21 rights. Only one level will open tomorrow. That's not a prediction.
Now, I wanted all 21. I will give you credit. That was the first I had heard of this, is your comment there. And your comment came in before July 1st, so you got some information somewhere that turned out to be very true. You were dead on. Only one level will open tomorrow, and that was the regular express. And it was a shocking $200 per card. So you must have heard maybe they've released that information early because you did say that's not a prediction. But I'll give you credit. You were the first person I heard that from, and it came true. Okay, do we have any more comments?
Hoda Doggett writes, whole thing is a money grab, both by grading services and by many of the submitters to flip for sale or investment, exceptions being some who like the protection.
You know, I don't know. I can see where you're coming from. Who dat dog at you, but I don't think the whole thing is a money grab. I mean, they're a legit business, and up until this grading frenzy that's taken place last couple years, their prices to grade cards was very cheap. I mean, like I said, like this card here cost me $7.50 to grade. $7.50 to grade. That's that's a bargain. I mean, even back then that was a bargain. Now it's never going to be that cheap again. But I feel like don't feel like that was a money grab. I feel like that was a really fair price, and I'm not going to grill them for just grading cards being a money grab. Now, maybe the reopening and only taking in express orders at $300 a card, that that feels a little money grabby. But I mean, they can't make the price too low, or else they're going to continue to get buried with new orders. Um, Unless they do something like limiting, which I think that could be a good answer for them. You'd also mentioned that many submitters are just submitting stuff to flip. I agree. There's a lot of people that nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, you do it. There's people that just buy cards, grade them, flip them. They don't have any emotional attachment to the cards whatsoever. They just move them on. I'm a little bit different. I'll flip my duplicates that I get graded, but like I can't bring myself to sell my Tatis rookie or my Soto rookie or my Pokemon cards unless I get like a second one to sell. So I'm not in the flipper category. I'm more in the I want to protect my collection, and I just have really enjoyed getting the cards graded. Yes, like exceptions being some who like the protection. Like there's a lot of Star Wars cards that I really need to get graded to protect them, but I was waiting around for a Star Wars quarterly special, and I don't think that's ever going to happen. Not at a cheap price anyway. Okay, who dat dog at you had more to say?
They can raise it to $100 a card. But aren't they all still backed up 6+ months, even with the shutdown?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say bulk value. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that that could be $100 a card once they open up everything up. As ridiculous as that sounds, I think it is that number is in play. I definitely think $75 and $50, they're definitely in play. I can't see them grading cards for less than 25 or 20. I just can't see it. So it's if they open it up at $20 again, they're going to get flooded. So I bet you it's going to be 50, maybe $40 to $50 a card to get any card graded once everything opens up. And I bet you they'll still be plenty busy. And yes, I think their backlog is still like almost a year right now. I think they're just barely tapping into the backlog that they've built up. All right. Any other questions?
Hippie Joe writes, anything more than the bulk pricing doesn't make any sense to me. The only ones really paying for $150 or $300 a card are those companies who are trying to flip a card for barely a profit, or those who are sending extremely valuable cards for their own personal collections and can't be bothered to wait.
Well, I mean, I personally don't send anything besides bulk pricing. Except I tried to do a crossover, and that did not work out. But I can see why some people do it because they're I mean, especially if they think I'm gonna get upcharged anyway, I might as well send it in and just pay it up front. I personally have never been upcharged on any of my personal orders, so I'm willing to take that chance. I'm not in a rush to get them back, so to me, I just stick with bulk pricing. But I can see why some people pay more. Now, $300 a card, it has to be an unbelievable card to pay that much to get it graded, I think. I mean, but to each his own. Yeah, and if you're sending in extremely valuable cards for your personal collection and are trying to rush, I would definitely wait. Like I said, I have some nice Star Wars cards I want to send in to get graded and / protected, But I'm more than willing to wait till the prices come back down. And Hippie Joe, you had more.
Once slabs continue to crash, it won't be profitable to even send them in at the economy $50 price unless it's a top tier card. So I'm hoping that's when PSA will decide to revert some of their prices back or at least offer a little better return rates.
I don't think slabs are crashing. I think there's a market correction. I think some people feel like it's a crash, and other people think it's a market correction. I think the prices were too high, and now they're starting to come back to where they should be. But yeah, that's a whole nother subject. I should do another hobby talk video on that. Are we experiencing card market crash or market correction? But in my opinion, I think it's a market correction. But I think it's going to continue to happen, especially as more people get cards back from PSA. And yeah, you would. I think a lot of people are going to think twice about sending cards in at $50 to get graded. You're going to be much more picky, making darn sure that you have something that has a really good shot out of 10. I mean, people are going to be more careful at a higher price. That's just natural. And I think Hippie Joe had a little more.
Seeing a lot of low-end cards that are being graded drop below $25, which is just lovely. Maybe people will stop spending their time and money on so many low-end cards.
Yeah. I think people that are just in it to get the cards back and flip them really quick, they don't mind just barely getting their money back out of cards. I try to. I don't like putting mine on auction. The duplicates that I've gotten, I just put in my eBay store, and my philosophy is matching. Whoa. Matching the lowest buy it now price. So usually get a better price that way. And I mean, it's a card that I'm just trying to sell to help pay for submissions, so I'm not worried about holding out for the top dollar. Maybe with something more, like if I had another one of these PSA 10 Juan Soto's, I'd probably want to hold on to that and not sell it cheap right now because his cards will drop down a little bit. You just got to be smart. And I think that is it this week. Thank you, everybody, for your comments.
Hey, Sandy Frank, I have to tell you something.
What, Mr. Robart?
This guy online is selling lots of Up Dog by the gallon.
What's up, dog?
Nothing
Oh,
much,
my
Sandy
God,
Frank.
shut up! Oh. I hate you, Mr. Robart. Anyway, golly. All right, stay tuned for more videos. Definitely Tuesday is Hobby Talk Tuesday. And we'll have another hopefully interesting discussion. And I really enjoyed the comments this week, guys. Keep it up. Stay tuned for more videos later.